In this video, I'm going to be using the expanded form strategy to solve subtraction. So with expanded form, the first thing you do is put the numbers into expanded form. So 783 is 700 plus 80 plus 3. And 592 is 500 plus 90 plus 2. And I think that the best way to start is in the ones place, because if you start in the hundreds and then you have to take from the hundreds again, you have to change it and then resubtract. So I think that it's just an easier rule to just always start in the ones. So let me start with my ones. 3 minus 2 is 1. Okay. Now I need to subtract my tens. Well, 80 minus 90 I cannot do. I need more tens to subtract the 90 from. I get my tens from the hundreds. So I'm going to take 100 and I'm going to give the 100 I just took to my 10. So I'm going to put a whole 100 there. I like to put it here so that it's right in that 100 spot, but you also could cross out the 80 and write 180. You just have to remember it's not 100, it's 180. So either way will work. So now I can do 180 minus 90. Now I know 180 minus 90 is 90. But if you're sitting there and you're struggling and it's hard for you to figure out, I suggest you just to the side do a little drawing. 180 and I need to subtract 90. Oh, I need to subtract one more 10. So I'm going to ungroup. So I subtracted 80, and another 10 is minus 90. So that leaves me with 90. So again, instead of sitting there and struggling and not having enough fingers to use, go ahead and use a visual. And now I can subtract my hundreds. 600 minus 500 is 100. So now I'm going to put this back into standard form. Oops. Add my ones, add my tens, and add my hundreds. So 783 minus 592 is 191. I'm going to move over and do another example that is a little bit trickier. So for this one, I'm doing 503 minus 285. Same first step of putting it into expanded form. So I have 500 plus no tens and 3 ones. And I'm subtracting 200, 80, and 5. All right, again, I like to always start in the ones place. 3 minus 5, I cannot do that. I need more ones. Where do I get my ones from? My tens. Oh, I don't have tens. Where do I get tens from? My hundreds. So I first have to take from the hundreds and give that whole 100 here. Now I still have to take from the hundreds to give to the ones. So now I'm going to take a 10 and give it to the ones. I'm going to put that 10 right there in the tens place. So 13. 13 minus 5 is 8. So you'll notice I had to ungroup twice, all the way at the hundreds to get tens to then give me ones. And that can be a little tricky sometimes. Now I'm going to do 90 minus 80, and that's 10. And now I can do 400 minus 200, and that's 200. Put that back into standard form. Add my ones, my tens, and my hundreds. So 503 minus 285 is 218. So remember, for expanded form, you have to expand both numbers. I like to always start at the ones place because sometimes I fall into a hard time when I have to ungroup again, and I've already ungrouped. And then find your differences of hundreds, tens, and ones, and then put it back into standard form.